Okay, so tic-tac-toe. SE10. Yay, let's go. What? npm Vite create. Oh, npm create Vite. Yeah. Project name tic-tac-toe. React TypeScript. Okay, we're done. Tic-tac-toe. npm install. I was thinking that now. Not need a chocolate. It's the only one.
Can you share?
No.
I mean, we can break it. I see.
Catch.
It looks like the one knows we can make it.
Oh, it's okay, catch.
Why would you give him one? I thought you
One
hated,
more.
I thought you hated him.
No, but if I give him one, maybe he'll fail. That's my logic.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I do with kids, it works.
But they're kids.
It's a kid.
You're the oldest.
Catch. Yeah, Pete, I just took all this from your office, by the way.
Oh, you're my hands now.
I see that you went to buy snacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
When?
no, I saw it in your office.
Yeah, the thing installed.
Yep. You ready?
Yeah.
And yes,
Hopefully.
Hopefully already,
First step, clear out your app TSX, or your app CSS.
if you're,
The app TSX.
earlier, will we leave earlier?
Yeah, sure.
If you be quiet.
All right, first step, always, let's design the interface for our tic-tac-toe board. No, you don't have to copy it. You don't have to copy it. I'm just gonna call it tic-tac-toe. And this interface is going to be, it's going to have a board,
My way.
and the board is going to have rows and columns of strings, right? Because each string will be the piece, the X or the O. So I would like to use a string that's inside of arrays, that's inside of another array. Does that make sense? That will give you a two-dimensional string matrix. You guys know what a matrix looks like?
No.
It's a grid.
It's a grid of numbers or strings that has rows and columns. Does that make sense? That's why it's called matrix, okay? This is what a tic-tac-toe board basically looks like. So this way, the two array brackets will allow you to create a double nested array list, okay? Arrays inside of arrays. All right, so we're done with the board. Let's go ahead and create some dummy data. Const initial board equals to arrays of arrays. Like I said, you see that? That's arrays of arrays. Now inside of each array, we have empty strings, empty strings, empty strings, empty strings, empty strings, empty strings. Okay, got it? All right, so we have the initial board. Next step is to create a state board. Set board. Actually, I'll call it data, set data equals to use state initial board. All right, and it's going to use tic-tac-toe as the state shape. Okay, that's it. We can actually omit this because it automatically assumes tic-tac-toe as the type here, okay? So we just added a bracket around the whole thing because we made it so that the board is a field inside of tic-tac-toe, okay? I wanted to make it an object so that we have a board that's an array of strings, and that's exactly what we have here, okay? I need this initial board basically to mirror the shape of my tic-tac-toe interface. And then those mirrors will be used here for my data state, okay? With this data state, we can go ahead and start generating our layouts. Our layout is going to be pretty simple. We need a double for loop to generate the layouts. I will start with the div on the outside. I need a div on the outside. And then we're going to do data.map. Well, actually data.board.map row index. And inside of here, we will return row.map row.map. And for each item will be item and item index. And that will return another div. And this div will be the div that actually contains the chess piece. Okay. And in order to put the chess piece in here, do we put row in here or item in here? Item, okay. Item is the string that needs to go in here. All right. And as always, we need to add keys that equals to item index. And then add the key here that equals to row index. Does it make sense? This is actually the more complicated version of writing this. I can simplify it to be something like this. I can remove the return and the brackets here to make it simplified. Okay, like this. I can also remove the return and the bracket here to simplify it furthermore. Now the code looks a lot more simplified, right? No more returns. We're just returning directly using the parentheses and arrow. You see? All right. So let's take a look at what this looks like on the actual website. There's nothing. All right. So if it has nothing, we're going to add some CSS here to make it look nice. Now we can obviously use Tailwind to help us do that. So we're not going to use CSS. We're going to install Tailwind into our project. And everyone should know how to install Tailwind into your project. You can use CSS if you want. I'm going to install Tailwind by following the Vite framework guides. Starting here. And then follow this step. And then follow this step, the content. We're gonna come down here, Tailwind config, paste the content in here. And then next step, add these to your index CSS. And then last step, npm run dev, okay? npm run dev. Okay, we should be all good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and add some CSS classes here. I mean, Tailwind classes. Start by, I'm going to have a border. Okay, and let's see what that border looks like. Oh, there's no, where's the border? Let's see. It's all the way up there. Okay. I'm going to come down to each individual cell. I'm going to make sure I have a height and width for each cell. Height 10, width 10. Okay, and a border. Add a red border. Okay, there we go. Now we have 9 blocks. Even though they're not perfectly aligned to the right place, we can still see these 9 blocks, right? So I'll make the block a little more obvious here. I'm going to take out the border from here for now. And let's take a look at the code. Okay, now we have these red blocks on top of each other. And obviously that's not what we want. We want to be able to see them in a 3x3 format, correct? So in order to make them 3x3, you have to do some work around the container that wraps around everything. This is the container that wraps around everything. We're going to add class, grid columns 3, grid rows 3, 3x3, okay? And check this out. Still not perfect, but we'll fix it. What's the grid code that you guys used? You didn't use grid? Okay, let me think. Maybe we don't need the rows class. Maybe we don't need the rows div. Okay, I'm thinking I just remove the rows div here because the grid doesn't really like it when I have 2 layers of code. I'm gonna do this instead to get rid of the brackets. This way, I only have 9 divs inside of this container div, okay? And that will allow me to do grid rows 3 and columns 3. So if I take a look here, it's the same, but it does help me simplify my code. Okay, now the only thing that I need is to restrict how big this grid should be, okay? So I know that every block is 10 by 10, which is 40 pixels by 40 pixels, right? H10, W10. It's 40 pixels by 40 pixels. 3 of those will be 120 pixels height and 120 pixels width. So what I can do is I can go into here and I can restrict the height to be 120 pixels. I can do 120 pixels. I can customize my width and height here. Just put them inside of brackets. You see? Now we have it. You see that? Okay, cool. So this grid needs to be in the center of my screen so it's easy to work to play around with. So in order to do that, I just need to come here, build another div around this. I will make this div class height full, width full. I'll make a height screen width full, flex, justify center, items center. Put it in the absolute center of the screen. Check this out. Oh, now it's in the center of the screen, right? You see that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Next step. We're gonna unfold this and we're going to figure out how to accept user inputs into one of these boxes, okay? And before I do that, I want to add some nice styles to each cell so that when I hover onto it, it changes the color and it looks like I'm about to place a piece on it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a hover state. The background color will change to red 200, okay? Cursor pointer, okay? This way, I'll be able to see this. You see that? I can place block by looking at, I can see where I'm about to place a block in, okay? So this will be a very nice addition to your code. Next step, I need a function that accepts a piece on the screen. So const handle, what do I call it? Place piece, how about that? What kind of parameters would I need from this function? What do I need to know to put, the place I'm clicking on, and what information do I need to figure out the place I'm clicking on? The item index, okay, and as well as and row index. So I need to know the X and the Y, okay, right, basically. So they are both numbers, right? Are they both numbers? Once I know that, how do I put it into data? What's my first step? My data is a complex state, right? So I need to make a clone. Or copy, if you guys prefer that over clone. How do I make a copy, guys? Bracket dot data, right? And then how do I change copy at a specific row index and item index. What's inside of my copy? Board,
Brackets.
because it's an array, so bracket, row index,
Brackets outside.
bracket here,
Outside.
outside,
Item index.
item index, good. And the shape of these two brackets follow the same shape as what I have here, correct? That's why we have double brackets here. Do you understand? Okay. All right, what's my next step? Equals to what? What do I change that equal to?
Whatever piece you're close to.
The piece I'm placing in. The problem is I don't know the piece that I'm placing in. I need to have a state that tells me what piece I need to place in at the moment. Because one person is playing, two persons playing on the same computer. So the piece needs to change between X and O and X, right? So if it's something that changes, we need a state, okay? That's the rule of thumb. Piece, set piece. When it comes to states that can only have two values, I like to create a type instead of an interface for it. Type piece can only be either X or O. Okay, this way you cannot put a third value in here that's not X or O. So I will use that here, piece. And I'm going to start with O. How about that? Well, I'll let O move first. Okay. Now, if I put an item here that's A, what do you think is going to happen? A is not assignable to the parameter of type piece because I define piece to be either X or O. Okay, good. All right. So when I place the piece onto the board, what do I place it with? Piece, right? Correct? Can I place a piece on a board that already has a piece? No. So I need an if statement here, right? What's my if statement look like?
Copy dot board row index item index.
Equals to piece? Does it have to be equal to the current piece?
Well,
If you're playing as the X, can you place your X piece on top of a already placed O piece? Can you place it on top of an X piece? So it cannot equal to the piece because piece only represents one of the two, right? Equals X or O, correct? Now, that means you might have to write two equal signs, right? Two equals, two comparisons. Is that correct? Is there a better way? Yeah? What's my better way? Combine it together. I can do this. I can write an array of X and O. I'm asking if it includes what I have here. What do you think?
this includes.
Includes is an array method that we talked about before. It checks if, yeah, we did. What goes into parentheses is checked against the array that you're checking from. And if it's in that array, it returns true. If it's not, it returns false. So I'm checking if my piece is included in the board I'm about to click on. If it's empty, it will be empty string, so it will return false, right? So that means if it doesn't include, I do nothing, right? I will just return this function. I do nothing, correct? So what if it's not? I continue on to the next step, correct? All right. After this step, what do I do next? How do I set the board back into the state? Set data. Copy. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to place it here. One click and a place piece. Now I need two parameters. So how do I put them in? What do I put them in? Item index, row index. Excellent. All right, we're good. Another problem is we need to change the piece to the other piece, right? Every time, what happens? Every time someone, every time someone plays the piece. So After we set the data with the copy, what else do we need to do?
Set these.
To be. How do I know it's which is the opposite?
After you place them, after you place the piece, visualization the other piece.
And if state.
Okay. What do I put in here? An if statement will work, but what's a more a smarter way? Don't we already have access to piece? What's piece?
X or O.
Yeah, X or O. So how do we figure out that without using an if statement?
By looking at the board.
Something we probably don't know.
How do you programmatically look at the board?
That.
You're just guessing. All right, here's what we can do. Piece equals to O, question mark, X, otherwise O. Okay, that's a simplified version of the if statement. Okay, we're checking if piece equals to O. If it does, we use X, otherwise we use O. This is the short if statement. Okay, you gotta know how to use it. This is called a ternary expression. Any questions so far? All right, now you know it.
Yeah, now I do.
All right, cool. Let's test it on our board.
Have like, yes.
All right, it works so far, but we just need to make sure they are in the center. So I'm going to add some styles. Flex, justify center, items center. Awesome. We good? Yeah, all right, cool. So now we just need to check who wins, right? Imagine we end this class in 10 minutes.
Sorry, I'll go home.
We're almost done. All right, so next step is we need to check who wins. Remember that code that we had before to check who wins? Let's start it again from scratch. You want to do that?
Just ripped it.
You just ripped it? What do you mean?
It from the one we did before.
Oh, okay. Anybody want to send it to me on Discord?
There's
What
only
we-
four
what
people
we
here that
did?
can send it to you.
Huh?
There's only 4 people here that can
Why?
send what to you.
The code that is used to check the winner.
Oh, is it this? I mean, I can give you mine.
Not sure about words of yourself.
What do you mean? Like, I wrote it myself.
Is it,
Oh.
is Peter?
Hmm?
Is it, is it,
Let me check.
it's both right though, but it, like it's so short. The code.
No? Oh, we rewrite it.
Hold on.
You have it?
I can send you what I have. And then
I don't like your code.
That's great.
Wait, can I get added to us? How did this begin to? If you don't like it.
When's Grace's birthday?
Wait, do you just wanna check like the, like, it's win or you wanna, cause I have like win and then check win.
Hmm?
I have win and check win, and do you want both?
No, I sent the code over.
Okay. Ivan, do you know why I don't like your code?
Why?
Because it only works for 3x3 boards. It doesn't work with 4x4.
No, but nobody say we're 4x4 though.
I never said
Yeah,
tic-tac-
that wasn't a requirement.
I never said it's going to be a 3x3. It will be an infinite number of
said it
rows and
wasn't.
columns.
So we just like.
Oh,
I need a code that can work with 100 by 100 column.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but then how long will it have to be?
Certainly, your code certainly won't work because it only checks 0, 1, and 2. So you gotta fix your code. Your code is not good. It's garbage.
It works, and that's what matters.
It only works with when certain conditions are met, and that is garbage code. What is your code?
It's the one we made in class.
Okay, it looks pretty good. I'll take it.
You made this.
Right, so I like to just place this code in another file called helper, like this. So I can keep my main TSX file clean. Yes, I will export this file. The board is going to look like. What does the board look like? Oh. The board is going to look like tic-tac-toe, but I need to export tic-tac-toe from here so that I can use it from the other side. So board is gonna look like tic-tac-toe, the board, okay? The player is going to be either X or O. So I'm going to also export the type piece, X and O. Cool. I think we can just go ahead and use this function right away. So when do we call this function check winner?
When after you place a piece.
After I place a piece. So do I do it in here? End of place piece?
Yeah,
Why not? I can.
yeah, that's gonna say yes.
Okay, which line do I do it at? After 24? But I haven't even set the board yet. I haven't even set the board. After I set the board, good. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. What is this gonna return? It returns boolean. So if winner, what do I do?
Pop up, a pop up,
Winner,
why the pop up?
I can do a pop-up. Well, I can create a state for the winner. It's either going to be piece or no, okay? If there's no winner yet, it will be no by default. If winner, set winner with piece. Okay, does it make sense? Good. All right, so if the winner is declared, I can add a line of code here to show the winner. I can show a p tag or h1 tag. We have a winner. Piece. Got it? Or winner. Okay. Class name, text 5XL, font bold, text green, 800 or 700. All right, let's try it.
Wait, I just feel like
1,
this is
2,
weird.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. X win right here. That's it for tic-tac-toe. It was simple, right? Now, can we try 4x4? How do we make it 4x4?
Just add another like list.
Yeah,
Maybe we could change the video,
Yeah, like that.
Have it in the middle, not for it to move the whole tic-tac-toe.
What? What do you
Because
mean?
you know when you have, the first, like, it moves the board to the side.
well, they're not gonna be playing after you play.
No.
Yeah, what do you want, like?
Add a refresh,
That is
like
a
add a
odd
retry, put a
Button,
retry.
and then like.
Okay.
you have
Like
a
the
weird-
volume of language.
I feel like the weight of the text like shifts the board.
Okay. Flex column. Okay. And this can be smaller. We have a button here that can reset.
Yeah,
And then what's the button gonna do?
I'll click like reset everything, like refresh the whole
Like
thing.
you.
We need a reset function, right?
Yeah.
How do we reset?
Delete
That board, and then it's like the.
Set data?
original board. Yeah, just the original board, just.
Like this?
Initial. What's
There's the-
From up here.
Yeah.
empty.
what's that?
I did. Okay, let's do the reset. I think this is easier than to-do list. Wait, what's,
Option you got it to-
Wait, there's no, it's not 4x4.
I don't know why. Oh, I know why.
Maybe because the code is that.
Shut up.
Hey.
So I need to change this to 4x4.
What? It's inside the 3x3.
Looks like you code is that.
No. I need to add here too. Yep, there we go. Who's one? No one's one. Hey, Cool.
Reset quickly.
Reset button is
Does it work? Did you make it work yet? No, it doesn't work.
why doesn't that work? Why is it not working? What if I try this?
What's that do?
It makes a copy by reference. I mean, it makes a copy by value instead of reference. Because guess what? The initial board was used in the initial data, right? So we've been keep changing this initial board. And if we just set it to initial board, React is not going to detect the change. So we need to make a copy of the initial board and then set it back to the data. Right? Got it? Okay, now your challenge is to make this in 15 minutes. Restart a new project, make this in 15 minutes. Everyone?
What to do?
Now, yeah, I'm gonna start a timer now. Huh? That's a what?
It took me an hour and 13 minutes yesterday. To do it.
Ready? Starting now.
But do you still want me to work on the like making it like infinite scalable thing? for
Yeah,
my-
yeah,
this one?
obviously.
So like, but I can't do two things at once.
That's part of the code you have to do. I'm gonna share the check winner code in the channel.
My code's.
You should be working on this. I'll show you my shrimp table. Look at my phone.
I know it's a moving car. You see?
wow.
It's great. Oh, Peter. In the parade today, right? The GTR, right? Then the rapping was in Malaysia. So proud of this world. Oh, what are you doing?
I don't know, like, why is she so mean?
Maybe so. I'll show you the code then.
Yeah, some people are us, like me, you go. Thank you.
Wait, will this be the same? For like, if I don't add a different kind like this.
Anybody has iOS 17 on their phone?
I think I have.
iOS 17.
I think I have some.
Settings.
Oh, wow, that's the hopper thing. Yeah, I think I'm 17.
Just checking.
Who's on 17?
I should be on 17 already.
I have something really cool to show you.
Is it the thing where you put the phones like this? Yeah, I've.
Yeah, I'm on 17.1.2.
This is my contact card.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Does it look like me?
Yeah, but. your hair is
But that's not a good thing.
probably-
It's full on right now too.
I know, but it's not. as
Which one looks better? Me in real life or in photo?
Me, you in real life,
Really?
Yeah.
Is it bad photo?
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It doesn't
Yeah.
look like you, well, a bit.
You guys heard this before you go.
Okay.
Wait, what do you have in the folder on TS file?
I'm gonna pause the recording. So if the game is won, we need to make sure the board is unplayable. Okay? So how do we know if the game's won? We can check the winner, right? If the winner is not null, then the game is won, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember over here, we have an if statement that checks if either piece is overriding another piece. We can add a statement here to say if or if we already have a winner. Okay, does that make sense? Oh shit. We call this the winner. So I'm gonna change this to be set to called one, okay? So that it doesn't interfere with the winner because the winner states is called winner. So I can make it a little more semantic by saying const piece already there equals to this thing. Const game ended equals to winner. I can add double exclamation mark here to check if it's a Boolean value. So I will just check if place. I'm gonna ask piece already there, or game ended, then we return. Okay,
Okay,
you gotta copy it.
bro.
Basically this. So this way it won't let you play again until you reset your board. Okay,
Wait, where did you write that? What line? What?
what?
What about time?
Whoa. Big bro.
I mean, but like, if you like tied, like, wouldn't you just wanna like reset it?
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
The reset button doesn't appear.
So if we want to show if it's a tie, what two conditions must be met?
If,
What two conditions must be met if it's a tie?
if winner is still no. but
And
piece is also-
all cells are filled. How do we know if all cells are filled? No winner and all cells are filled. How do we check if all cells are filled?
Go through each cell.
Go through each cell. So we can do data dot board dot sum.
Some,
Yeah.
some. It's some. Either you're interested in listening. to-
What is it?
So I implemented a turn system. And if,
What's the turn system?
like, every time a player goes, the turn.
Wait,
goes.
I can't.
And then do we also have to like add like another reset button?
Nah. Okay, it's actually every row of and every item must not equal to empty string. Okay,
I can't.
Stop, could you stop changing real quick, please?
And go back to the call.
sure. So we just added two things. First, we check if the game's ended and we can stop them from playing if the game's already ended. Second thing is we display tie if every row and every item is not empty and there's no winner. Use the every method.
Have-
You didn't learn that?
No,
Yeah, you did.
it goes
No.
through an array,
Yeah, every.
and what can you do with it?
It checks for a condition and returns either true or false.
What are some applications of every?
That
Another one?
you are It's usually used to check if you have any empty slots. In one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, or such and such.
Looking for impurities.
Yeah, pretty much.
He made it sound like he was like going through like the bloodline or something.
No, that's your interpretation. Why do you interpret now?
Oh no, it's just the way that you said it, like.
Peter, come
it's
here real
like-
quick.
I've been watching YouTube too much.
Impurities.
So do you want me to delete everything here?
Impurities through every.
I go to here?
No, 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 no.
Slow.
Stop copying.
Said it missing.
Now that you said that, I'm gonna talk a lot faster.
Hello?
Come on.
He hasn't paused the recording, so,
So we're just gonna do this.
yep. This is archived, this is log. Uh-oh, it's pausing it now.
Oh no.
It's getting muted.